What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I am Letitia and this is That's So Letitia. This is my first video of 2023. Hope you guys are having a beautiful, prosperous start to the new year. And to all of my new viewers, watchers, supporters, followers, welcome guys. Happy New Year to you. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I hope you enjoy the content. And to all of my returning viewers, supporters, watchers, and followers, welcome back guys. Happy New Year to you as well. Hope this year is finding you well, healthy, happy, and whole. Without further ado, let's jump right into this video. So, this is my first video of 2023, and I figured let's start off with a bang. So we are going to do a review and a wear test of a new foundation. We can always add a foundation to our collection, right? Especially if it's a good one. Now you guys know I am here for holding on, using till it's empty, any products that serves its purpose, any products that you are in love with. But given the fact that it's a new year, I figured let's see if we can add another foundation to our arsenal. Of course, I'm going to begin first with using a primer, e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. Guys, I actually really like this primer now that I know how much to use and how to use it. It was touch and go at first, but now I'm liking it, and I feel like I just put too much on. Oh Lord, we're gonna see how this comes out. So my eldest, you guys know I tend to mention my sons on my channel. My eldest just got married, and today he actually left for service. And I'm like, wait, hold on. Rewind the tape, slow down the music. As a matter of fact, cut the music. Like, what? Who told you to grow up on me like this? Like, you just full on grown up. So, although I'm happy, I'm excited, he's such a amazingly positive, respectful young man. My husband and I, we definitely raised him well. You know, in spite of all of that, like, y'all know, sometimes us moms, we're like, no, we're not ready to let you go. And he's like, Mom, I love you, but you got to let me go. And that like took up so much of my time for like the past week or so, just trying to process that and deal with that and come to grips with the fact that I have a full-on adult son, and now I have a daughter-in-law, which I love, by the way. She is such a sweetheart. She really is so blessed. You know, I just kind of had to go through my mom tantrum and crying and the whys and all of that. But you know what? Even when you push the bird out of the nest because you're confident that they can fly, they will fly, they will soar, but they will never forget where that nest is. So that's what I'm holding on to. So yeah, that was all I had. And in terms of the foundation that I will be using, it is the new foundation by Juvia's Place. So this one is called the I Am Magic Natural Radiant Foundation. This one, the tubing is really interesting. This one gives you 40 milliliters. It says it's a 30% bonus, so I'm not sure if they're going to maintain this same size throughout production, but since this one literally just launched, it states that it's giving you a 30% bonus, so you get 40 milliliters for the price of 30 milliliters. Speaking of price, this one was $23. I purchased it from Ulta.com because through Ulta I tend to get my shippings a little bit faster than if I were to go through Juvia's Place itself. So it's $23. They have 30 shades in this one, and it states here that this is a reading notes. This is a Easy Glide foundation for a flawless, radiant, and luminous complexion, both light and hardworking. This is a water-resistant formula which will naturally minimize imperfections to smooth, protect, and hydrate the skin while with lasting results. So the shade that I got is, let's see, it's 310 Burkina, B-U-R-K-I-N-A. FYI for all of my 420 Fenty girls out there, as well as Estee Lauder Sandalwood or Too Faced in Chai. Burkina 310. We're gonna hope that this is a perfect match. I matched myself off of the findnation.com website. I want to say I have about a 90% success rate with that site. Let's hope that this is going to add to that 90% success rate. And I'm going to put a few pumps here on the back of my hand. Okay, so the pump is giving me some issues. I got a little bit out and now it's not coming out. I'm not feeling that. First impressions here. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what's going on. Okay, there we go. Maybe because it was just sitting, since it obviously is brand new. So we're gonna look past that. And for the application, I'm going to use my NYX foundation brush. This one is in the style number 37. And let's see how it goes. So there is a bit of a fragrance. It almost smells like cherry. Yeah, it doesn't smell bad at all so far. And if you guys are familiar with the first foundation that Juvia's Place brought out, then you know when they give you coverage, they give you coverage. So let's see if this one is as full coverage as their previous foundation. Okay, so I'm liking the shade. First impressions, they did say radiant, they did say luminous, so there is a bit of a glow to it. I would say, and this is something that I was seeing people kind of say or comment online, that it's kind of hard to decipher using the website, like which shade they would be. So I would just say, if you have the ability to, you know, at some point, I'm sure they're going to bring this to Ulta in stores. I would say go in and actually test a few shades out to see exactly which one would match you, because as we know, anytime there's a slight bit of change in the formula, even if it's a foundation that you're used to using, it does run the risk of showing up differently, making you have to kind of adjust the shade that you wear for that particular formula. And now what I am doing is putting on some concealer, and this is also by Juvia's Place, I Am Magic, and this is in shade number 9. And now I'm going to blend in the concealers using my Sephora brush. And to set the concealers, I'm going to use, this is by Too Faced. This is their Born This Way Loose Setting Powder. And this one is in the shade Translucent Medium. Hopefully this will kind of help pull some of that red down in the foundation. And I'm applying it using a damp beauty blender. So for me, especially with a luminous foundation, just because I do tend to gravitate more or less towards matte finishes, I want this one to still kind of have that luminous look to it, but not so glowy. So at least that's the goal for me with applying like all of the various setting powders and bronzers that I'm gonna use, is to still capture the luminous of it without so much of like a dewy look. Speaking of goals, did anybody set any goals for this year? Like, is that still a thing, doing like the resolutions? I know for me, I tend to shy away from that. I'm kind of a firm believer that, you know, God's will be done. And there's been so many times that I've made like these goals and, you know, just kind of like vision boards, which is totally fine. I have a vision board myself, but I've made like these sets of goals and I'm gonna do this by this date, and then that date come and I don't complete it, and then I just feel like I missed the mark. So for me, this year, and actually the past few years, my resolutions is just asking God to allow me to be better than I was the day before. Now, if there's certain things that I know I can achieve that are within my grasp, you know, such as buying a particular product or like paying, you know, a particular credit card or something like that by a certain time, then yeah. But those are just regular like list of things that I need to do. I said that I was shying away from that whole resolution thing just because, you know, life happens. And in the midst of life happening, we tend to blame ourselves if those goals don't actually manifest the way that we designed them to, or by the date that we have given them. Like, I don't need that stress. I don't need that stress. You know, to each his own. If other people, you know, still make their resolutions and their, you know, vision boards and things like that by a certain time, this is this is that, that's totally fine. I support you. But for me, no, I'm good. Because honestly, there's still some things from last year that I'm still working on. And I don't consider them failures because I didn't complete them by December 31st. 2022. It just means keep going, keep going, keep going. You know, that's the goal, is to be motivated and stay consistent and be persistent in reaching your goals. They won't always be achievable by this particular time or by this year or this month or this day of the week. But if it's something that you are passionate about, I say just keep your head in the race and move forward towards it. You guys know I like to set my entire face using a pressed powder. The one I typically use, it's by Too Faced, but Juvia's Place also brought out their very own, now they consider this one to be like a powder foundation, which was similar to the multi-purpose pressed powder I was using by Too Faced. So that's how I'm going to use this one. This one, it is called the Juvia's Place I Am Magic Powder Foundation. It's $18, and this one comes in 20 colors or 20 shades. I got this one also in my foundation shade that I just purchased, which is 310 Burkina. So let's get to applying this one using my e.l.f. pointed powder brush. First and foremost, we're applying it to the areas where there was no setting powder used. And then very light go over the area that we did apply the pressed powder or the setting powder. And now I'm going to apply my bronzer, Jacyln Cosmetics in Daycation. Now you guys know they sold this at Morphe, right? Did y'all hear? I am personally shocked that Morphe is closing. I've visited their location when I lived in Illinois in the mall. We had like a mall out in the suburbs that had Morphe in it. Thought it was a really cool store. I would go and like pick up certain things that I needed, but to hear that they're closing like all of their brick and mortars, what? Didn't expect that one. But they said that they would still have like their website and you could still purchase from like the retailers that they're in partnership with. So I guess for people that like purchase their stuff through Ulta, you guys are still safe. We are still safe. But I just thought it was like so bogus, the stories that I heard about like the short notice that the employees got. That was devastating to hear. Okay, and moving on to our shadow. So I'm gonna do a very neutral, easy, smoky eye for this one. The palette I'm going to be using, it's by Huda Beauty. This is their Naughty palette. And for those of you who have not yet seen this palette, this is what it looks like. So because when I blended in the concealer, I also took some of the excess and applied it to my entire eye area. I will not be laying down a eyeshadow primer. We are just going to begin using our shadows. Using my Morphe M504 brush, I'm going to go in with my transition shade. And the transition shade I'm going to use is going to be this one here, which is called Juicy. And I'm going to start by applying that to where my crease should be. Shout out to all of us with hooded lids who does not know what a crease is unless it is something that you are ironing into your pants. Because yeah, there's no crease up there. Okay, so the second shade I'm going to use, it's called Arousal, this one here, using the same 504 brush, and I'm going to apply that to, again, the crease area, and then I'm going to blend upward just a little bit. We're same thing to this eye.
And then using, this is one of the brushes that comes with the Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes. I am going to take Naughty, this shade here, and we are going to apply that right below where we applied Arousal or Arouse. And I'm going to blend that in and flick up just a little bit to give a gradient effect. And we're gonna flick up. Cute. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. And then we're going to now apply this one here, which is called Untamed. I'm going to do that in the outer corners of my eyes. And for that shadow, I'm going to use a Eco Tools blend brush. This is Untamed, right here. As I said, this is going to be a very light version of a smoky eye. And just flick it up. Using a Morphe M705, we're going to add some shimmer now. The shimmer I am going to apply, it is this one here, which is called Shameless. And I'm going to apply that to the inner portion of my eye area. Then move on to the other eye. And for blush, I'm going to use by Juvia's Place, the Saharan Blush Volume 1. Shades I will be using are Abby and Toby. These two here. Just going to blend them together lightly.
applying it using a blush brush, also by Eco Tools. And for my lips, I'm going to apply first a MAC Cosmetic Lip Pencil. This one is in the shade Chestnut. And then I'm going to apply, this is by Huda Beauty. This is a Demi Matte Lip Gloss. And this is in the shade Catwalk Killa, K-I-L-L-A. All right, guys, so the wear test now begins. I'm going to check back in 4 hours, let you guys know how it's wearing, if there's been any sort of shine or creasing, you know, the typical foundation wear test things that we all want to know before we go out and spend our money. So I will check back in with you guys in a little bit. Okay guys, so this is after 5 hours of wear. I noticed that there was a little bit of like a dewiness that started to pop up like in my T-zone area, which is not all that shocking. I mean, my face for the most part, in terms of like oil, I've kind of got it under wraps to where I don't have any oil to show through when I wear like my other foundations. But this one did state that it is a luminous, radiant foundation. So I did expect for the actual formula of the foundation, you know, that is luminous. I did anticipate some of that to actually show through. It's not a matte formula. So I still think that it's wearing beautifully. I'm not noticing much of like any creasing or anything like that. So there you have it. A list of all products that were used will be located in the description box below. So feel free to check out that list if you are in fact interested in any of the products that were featured for this video. Guys, feel free to like, share, comment, leave me suggestions, and let's talk about it in the comments as we always do. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please exercise self-care. It is not a luxury, but indeed a necessity. And until next time, we shall chat again soon.